A lovely good evening to you all today, the 17th of September 2023. To present Camnet Television Main News, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. The top stories in the news tonight: former President Edgar Lungu drags the state to court. Police arrest 136 people in connection with the riot and death of 2 businessmen in MUMBWA district. NAQEZ proposes a 3,000 KWACHA salary increment for teachers in the 2024 national budget. In international news, landmines pose risks to survivors in Libya. And in sports news, FC MUZA loses to DIABLES NOIRS in the Confederation's Cup.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Another news in detail. Lusaka High Court Judge Charles Zulu is Monday, 18 September 2023, scheduled to hear a matter in which former President Edgar Lungu has dragged the state to court for refusing him to travel to South Korea. Mr. Lungu, in his letter filed before the court, seeks judicial review of the decision of the Director of Immigration to stop him from traveling on reasons that he must first seek permission from Cabinet Office before embarking on the journey. Mr. Lungu has argued that the decision by the state was illegal and irrational, as he needed no permission to travel. On Monday, the 11th of September 2023, Director General of the Immigration Department, Linda Mutonga, informed Mr. Lungu that he could not travel to attend the World Peace Summit in Seoul, South Korea, as he was not cleared by Cabinet Office. About 136 people believed to have been behind the riots in MUMBWA district where 2 businessmen were killed by an irate mob last week have been arrested. Central Province Police Commanding Officer Roy Kashimba confirmed to Camnet TV News that the arrested 136 rioters include 2 murder suspects, while a number of looted items have been recovered. And Chief Mumba of the County People of MUMBWA District has called on the law enforcement agencies and other investigative wings to quickly bring to book all those alleged to have been involved in the riots that engulfed the district last week. Meanwhile, Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua has assured would-be investors that despite last week's riots, the district is safe for investment. Here's a report.
Last week, Wednesday, 13 September 2023, MUMBWA district in Central Province was the home of bloodshed as an irate mob allegedly murdered 2 prominent Nkema and MUMBWA businessman Enes Sekaonga, popularly known as Yakaipa, and his friend David Mwakioma, a Tanzanian national, during a riot after information went round that a person had been killed in a suspected ritual murder. As bloodshed engulfed the cattle rearing district, destruction also extended to properties worth millions of kwacha, among them the burning of a district veterinary office to ashes, affecting more than 40,000 heads of cattle in the district. In the quest to restore law and order in the district, about 136 people believed to have been behind the riot in MUMBWA district so far have been arrested, while investigations are ongoing. Central Province Commanding Officer Roy Kashimba confirms that among the arrested 136 rioters, 2 are alleged murder suspects.
And we've made some arrests, about 136, and 2 murder suspects. And we are still profiling those 136 to separate them from those that were involved in riotous behavior and those that were found with actual stolen goods. But people should remain calm, and allow us, the police, to do a professional job, so that at the end of the day we can have justice.
Chief Mumba of the Kaonde People of MUMBWA district says his leadership will not condone lawlessness and called on the law enforcement agencies to speed up investigations and bring all involved to book.
We can't still condone that. We can't allow. That is criminality. And I hope the relevant institutions will investigate and bring the perpetrators to book. Our chiefdom will not support lawlessness. We are law-abiding. MUMBWA has been a good place. We grew up here, went to school here, we have been brought up here, we have worked here before. We have been quite a good district. It's unfortunate that we're coming of others, as you have said, sir. These others that are running away from Lusaka, and maybe also the immigration can assist us. We have a number of foreign nationals who are among us here.
Meanwhile, Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua says the government is driving a pro-investment agenda for economic growth. As such, business investors should not feel insecure to trade in the district.
Be able to show leadership with your guidance, Your Royal Highness, so that we can build that confidence to the investors and other people who can come and live with us here, that MUMBWA is a safe place to live. Hence, my humble request, Your Royal Highness, that we be guided and also we share certain issues together. We see how we can cleanse MUMBWA and become an investment destination.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News.
Western Province Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited has assured the people of Western Province that erratic water supply will be addressed once the $42.2 million integrated small town water supply and sanitation project is completed before the end of October this year. Company Managing Director Engineer Mufwayo Kabika has told the media at a briefing that completion works have reached an advanced stage and has encouraged the people in the province to start applying for new connections. Meanwhile, Western Water Supply Public Relations Officer Henry Kachoke says 3 pumps have already been installed at the new facility and that once commissioned, 12 million cubic meters of water will be made available. More in this report.
With a growing population in Western Province, access to clean and safe water has been a challenge for many households. But speaking during a media briefing held at Western Water and Sanitation Offices Saturday, Western Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited Managing Director Engineer Mufwayo Kabika says the new project being undertaken will be a game changer in the water sector and has assured the community that erratic water supply will be a thing of the past once the project is completed by the end of October this year.
Secondly, is to deal with the issue of hours of supply. The average hours of supply for Western Water average is somewhere around 15 hours. So we want to move from 15 hours to 24 hours of supply.
Engineer Kabika has also encouraged the people in the province to start applying for new connections to the water network that will be soon commissioned.
Senanga and Kaoma is also going to be in the turnkey arrangement where you're just going to turn on your tap and start receiving that water. When it comes to the integrated small dams, we are hopeful that with the testing that we have started, we should be able to also by the close of it to have already finished the testings, and also we have already programmed that come first or second week of October, we already open up for our customers to come and make applications to start getting connected. Remember.
And Western Water Supply Public Relations Officer Henry Kachoke says once the 3 pumps currently installed at the plant begin to function, about 12,000 cubic meters of water will be made available, which will address the shortage of the essential commodity in the province.
Already, 3 pumps have been installed, and once these are done, like I've said, there will be a volume of 12,000 cubic meters of water that will be produced from. So those are the critical issues that we used to have. At least we are able to stabilize a number of areas now they are having water. Unless we have a critical problem, that is where our areas are not having water.
The $42.2 million integrated small town water supply and sanitation program aims to increase sustainable access to quality clean water supply and sanitation services for more than 1 million residents in the targeted 4 districts, among them LUNGU, Sesheke, Senanga, and Kaoma. PERSIST reporting for Camnet TV News.
The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAQEZ, has urged government and teacher unions to increase salaries for teachers by 3,000 kwacha across the board in 2024. NAQEZ Executive Director Aaron Chansa says with a substantial increase in essential commodities such as fuel, meal and transport, the organization is convinced that the 10.5% salary increase which teachers received for 2023 has been diluted. Mr. Chansa says there is an urgent need for the government and unions to award an increase in salaries for teachers in a manner that will be above or equal to the rate at which commodities have increased. He adds that instead of increasing salaries in percentages, NAQEZ proposes an upward increase by 3,000 kwacha for everyone in the Ministry of Education, regardless of the position held.
After carefully analyzing the high cost of living in this country, National Action for Quality Education in Zambia is strongly advising government, together with the unions, to award teachers with the 3,000 across the board salary increment. This is very, very important because almost all the essential commodities and services have increased. Teachers are failing to survive in this hard economy, and with this, we want to see the increment done with a block figure of 3,000, as opposed to increasing salaries using percentages. This system has been very unfair. It only favors those that are in higher positions. This time around, we want all teachers to be given the same increment of 3,000, and we know that teachers are very, very important, but currently our teachers are going through a lot of hardships. Thousands of them have not been upgraded. Others have been acting without being confirmed. Our strong belief is that with the 3,000 increment for 2024, most of our teachers are going to be happy, they will be motivated, and we know that with the motivated workforce, we are going to see improved delivery of quality education in our country.
Goodwill Ambassador Elijah Ngwale has castigated individuals condemning President Hakainde Hichilema's address to the third session of the 13th National Assembly. Reacting to critics to the address, Professor Ngwale has charged that the president's speech was adequate as it touched on a number of sectors such as agriculture, tourism and health, among others. President Hichilema, on the 8th of September 2023, opened the third session of the 13th National Assembly under the theme Building on Socio-Economic Gains for Improved Livelihood and a Better Zambia. More in the following report.
Renowned Goodwill Ambassador for Persons with Disabilities, Elijah Ngwale, has described criticism against President Hakainde Hichilema's address to Parliament during his opening of the third session of the 13th National Assembly as baseless. Some opposition political parties, among them the Economic Freedom Fighters EFF through its president, Kasonde Mwenda, labeled President Hakainde Hichilema's speech a misrepresentation of facts on the ground. However, Professor Ngwale argues that the president's speech was inclusive, touching on almost all sectors of the economy.
He touched, among others, agriculture. To improve on agriculture was not that good. Employment of 4,500 teachers was not that stupendous. Macroeconomic development, improvement of tourism, improvement on tourism in this country. Free education, which has been talking about all the time. Financial prudency and maintenance of macroeconomic stability. This was stupendous, voluminous and splendiferous economic transformation and job creation.
Meanwhile, Professor Ngwale has called for usage of proper terminologies in addressing persons with disabilities in the country,
which in interaction with various barriers may hinder their full and effective participation in society on an equal basis with others. End of quote. So please, starting from my good friend, indeed, President of the Republic of Zambia, HH, up to the last man in Zambia, don't call us differently abled, physically challenged, people living with disabilities. No, we are persons with disabilities.
For Camnet News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Governance and Development Advocates Zambia says President Hichilema's visit to China has put to rest the protracted debate, insinuating that Zambia had ignored its relations with that country. Organization Executive Director Elias Mulenga observes that President Hichilema has proved that he is not influenced by global geopolitical conflicts, but takes the lead in promoting peace. He adds that the move by the head of state to have investments both from the east and western part of the world will see Zambia grow economically through the trade and investments. Meanwhile, political activist Dante Saunders says President Hichilema's visit to China and several other countries will pay in the long run.
After coming under fire from critics who accused him of maintaining a Western posture in the international system, President Hakainde Hichilema on Monday, 11th September, finally embarked on a 6-day working visit to China, where he has since returned. Even then, one of the vocal critics on the president's administration, the Patriotic Front PF, labeled his visit to China too late.
And now, belatedly, he jumps on a plane. I'm going to China. It's too late, Bwana.
However, Governance and Development Advocates Zambia, GDAZ, believes the president's visit to China puts to rest the protracted debate, insinuating Zambia had ignored its relations with the Far East powerhouse. GDAZ Executive Director Elias Mulenga says the trip will also result in a massive investment in the country.
The position that Zambia has taken has shown that by embracing the West and the East, the nation does not take sides, and the president does not take sides. He has embraced the world to show that we do not take sides in the geopolitical conflicts that is there.
Meanwhile, political activist Dante Saunders says the president's trip will pay off in the long run as he is laying a foundation which had lacked in recent years.
They need careful analysis from those cooperating partners that he has invited into Zambia. So they still have got to do their homework. It's not going to be that the Chinese people or the American people or the British people or the Germans have agreed to do A, B, C, D and they are going to start tomorrow morning. No, it's not going to be like that. And even if they did start tomorrow morning, it will take some time before you actually start seeing the profits of whatever project they are working on.
For Camnet News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, EFZ, says the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND administration has a lot to learn in fostering the democratic tenets in the country. EFZ Executive Director Bishop Andrew Mwenda says the UPND administration has scored in promoting Christian values through consulting the clergy, but lacks in the application of the principles of the rule of law in the democratic space. The cleric advises that Zambia's Republican President Hakainde Hichilema should assume the role of a reconciler by issuing remarks that promote unity and champion love with his predecessor, former President EDGAR LUNGU. More in the following report.
On Thursday, 24th August 2023, the United Party for National Development UPND administration clocked 2 years in the wheels of power, winning the 11th August 2021 general election with a landslide, ushered as drivers of the country's runs to restore the country's democratic, economic and social status. The Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia has called for improvement in promoting democratic space in the country. Bishop Andrew Mwenda says the UPND administration has a lot to learn in ensuring that the rule of law is applied equally.
I think the UPND has a lot to learn in that direction. The statements that the highest office sometimes makes in their political endeavors has not been good. Sometimes where we have heard of how some meetings of other political parties have been cancelled, because basically the police may not give, sometimes they don't even give the reasons why they have cancelled those meetings or those outdoor meetings, even when the permit has been given.
The cleric also advises Zambia's Republican President Hakainde Hichilema to desist from using language which does not promote unity of purpose in the country. Bishop Mwenda adds that President Hichilema and his predecessor Edgar Lungu should focus on reconciliation.
We are expecting the president to be much more of a reconciler. It's time both of them must learn to forgive each other and move on for the sake of the nation.
Meanwhile, Bishop Mwenda has held the UPND administration for being consultative with church leaders. He says the government's commitment to promote Christian values should be supported by all.
On Christian values, they have been very much consultative. Yes, some of the times they have made decisions that we feel they are against certain values of Christian norm, but generally we have been okay in that, and we are trusting God that they will continue that way. We're just praying that this time and this year, which is next month on the 18th, the president himself could kindly attend the prayer.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Community Action Against Corruption, CASC, has called on political players in the country to desist from regarding politics as a profit-making venture, as it is a breeding ground for continued corruption in the country. Organization Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo observes that one of the causes of unending corruption in the country is because the governance system in Zambia is based on regarding politics as a way of making money. Mr. Tembo says corrupt people are flocking into politics with the purpose of amassing wealth for themselves and their affiliates while disregarding the interests of the citizens. He says desisting from regarding politics as a business should be a step government must also prioritize for the fight against corruption to be effective.
In community action against corruption, we've observed that one of the reasons why there is an upswing of corruption in governance systems in Zambia in the past 30 years is the commercialization of politics. Because politics in Zambia has been commercialized and it has been transformed from a service to the people into a luxurious economic activity for those people who are joining politics. We've seen people becoming super rich just by joining politics within a short period of time. So if we continue with commercialization of politics, then we should not expect to fight corruption effectively. So the best way to fight corruption in the country is to start with the decommercialization of politics so that politics can just start attracting people who have the ambition to serve others, not people with the ambition of making financial fortunes for themselves. So the financial advantages which politics give to the people is attracting people who can easily be corrupt because those people are joining politics for commercial motives. So the first step that government should take in order to address the problem of corruption is to decommercialize the politics of the country.
The Zambia Road Safety Trust, ZRST, has bemoaned the high rate of road traffic accidents involving trucks ferrying large numbers of people. ZRST Programs Officer Milo Simwale says the government should put in place immediate measures such as installing strategic road checkpoints, especially in rural areas, to address the challenge. On 3rd September 2023, 32 people died in a road traffic accident with a Scania truck operated by 32-year-old Emmanuel Chunga from Itala compound in Mukoshi lost control and overturned on the Masansa-Mboroma Road in Luano district of Central Province.
We are also concerned about a number of people that are being ferried, especially on open vans. I think for the past 5 years, at least a year hardly passes without people being killed, involved in a road crash, be it water, using boats and so forth. But the main thing which is claiming a lot of lives are these open vans, because there are a lot of people and they are actually being overloaded in these vans. So in an emergency of emergency braking, those are the accidents that we witness. So we are just appealing to the government to ensure that maybe they return back the police checkpoints, some of them, because now it's like it's free for all. So although it was a good move, like to reduce the number of roadblocks or checkpoint, I think that is the only way which is going to help us, especially in rural setup. A lot of people are being ferried in this open van. But we also see that here in Lusaka, people going to the funeral, but we need to be proactive, like to be reactive, especially when a number of lives have been lost.
This is Camnet Television. Main news. We'll take our first break. Join us for more news after the break.
Deborah, have you connected to the Wi-Fi on the bus? It's fast, it's amazing. I've just downloaded my books and I'm about to complete the series. It's nice, too, me.
Ah, no, I'm actually watching a reality show. He's about to propose. Oh, so sweet.
Make your trip seem short yet comfortable and safe when you use the UBZ luxurious fully air-conditioned coaches that come fitted with amazing onboard entertainment, passenger information services, coffee-making facilities and fridge for your hot and cold beverages, free and interrupted Wi-Fi for your gadgets, phone charging facilities, comfortable seats that recline to offer extra resting posture, safety seat belts, adjustable reading lights for each traveling client, and of course, clean flushing toilets for your convenience. So travel in luxury and safety with UBZ luxurious coaches. UBZ will always take you there. From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. An 11-year-old Sepom Kelabai has won the Little Tourism World Ambassador title at a world pageant held in Kathmandu, Nepal in Asia. And speaking shortly after arriving at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in Lusaka Saturday, the crowned Little Miss Tourism Ambassador, Sepom Kelabai, says she feels privileged to have represented Zambia as a tourist attraction. Sepo says most people in the world do not know where Zambia is located and that it is a privilege to showcase the country's tourism sector through participating at the pageant. Meanwhile, Sepo's guardian, Wamundila Mukelabai, says most people at the pageant did not know about Zambia and that it is good that the participation of his daughter in the competition has put Zambia on the world map.
Yes, girl, yes. Yeah?
I felt so good knowing that I represented my country well. It was good. From my experience in Nepal, I realized that not many people know Zambia and where it's located. So I feel like this platform was a really good platform for me to showcase Zambia's tourism. music and cultures. I learned that from us Zambians and Nepali people, we worship two different gods.
Okay.
And our beliefs are totally different. So we can't judge them based on their beliefs.
Through the Little Miss Tourism pageant, a lot of other countries, including the main host, Nepali, were able to learn about Zambia and its culture and most of its tourist attractions. You'll be very surprised to note that very few people out there even know about a country called Zambia. Yeah, so for them, it's something they were hearing for the first time, and it brought a lot of attention to the pageant because of that. It was an exciting moment. I think it was nice to be part of a process of helping our daughter Sepo achieve her dream. It was nice to know that all the struggle was not in vain. Yeah, it was nice to also know that, you know, all the people back home who were rooting for her had their desire fulfilled.
I'm speechless even up to today. I'm so speechless, but all in all, it gives me so much confidence to continue to train other upcoming little models. Like, I'm so very happy.
So basically, Little Miss and Miss Tourism Ambassadors is a beauty pageant for kids starting from the age of 5 to 13. So this is a pageant where our aim is to raise young ambassadors that will speak or teach about tourism in Zambia. Because as you know, right about now, if you ask anybody about Zambia's tourism, the first thing they'll tell you is the Victoria Falls, of which even adults will say the same thing. But we realized that Zambia is very rich in culture and heritage. We've got a lot, like Sepo mentioned, we've got a lot of tourist attractions, heritage sites that people need to know about.
I think I know over 5 tourist attractions.
Namely?
We have the Mosotsunya, also known as the Victoria Falls. We have the Zambezi River, the Kafiwe National Park, the Ngombe Ilede, Mafinga Hills, Makutu Mountain, Bala Highlands.
World Health Organization country representative Dr. Nathan Bakeita says every patient, regardless of background and circumstance, deserves to receive safe and high-quality health care. Speaking at the celebration of the World Patient Day in Kitwe Sunday, Dr. Bakeita says there is need to ensure that patients' voices are heard and their experiences used to shape the future of the healthcare systems. Meanwhile, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. Christopher Simonga says every year millions of people are affected by health care-associated infections, medication errors, genetic inaccuracies, and other preventable incidences.
Regardless of background or circumstances, deserves to receive safe and high-quality health care. Through this year's slogan, Elevate the Voice of Patients, WHO urges all stakeholders to actively involve patients in advancing healthcare, ensure that their voices are heard, and their experiences are used to shape the future of healthcare systems, the healthcare system that we all envision. Ladies and gentlemen, Zambia, like many other countries, has made significant strides in improving patient safety, but a lot of challenges exist. How then do we tackle some of these challenges? Engagement is one. Engaging patients in their care is a culture shift we need to wholeheartedly embrace. We need to recognize patients as partners in their healthcare journey.
Every year, millions of lives are affected by healthcare-associated infections, medication errors, diagnostic inaccuracies, and other preventable incidents. These unfortunate occurrences remind us that patient safety is not just a concept. It is a collective responsibility that demands the active involvement of every stakeholder in the healthcare ecosystem.
No matter your role in the healthcare ecosystem, as a foundation, we believe that all healthcare organizations need to become as highly reliable as other high-risk industries.
United Party for National Development, UPND member Ubene MUMBWA has called for the formulation of an Auditor General Constituency Development Fund CDF desk to help speed up the process of implementation of various projects. Mr. MUMBWA says many local authorities countrywide are reluctant in implementing CDF projects due to lack of a proper monitoring system. Mr. MUMBWA suggests that introducing an Auditor General's desk in all districts will stimulate effectiveness in CDF implementation, as local authorities will be compelled to provide quarterly reports. Here's a report.
Meant to lift the standards of living for vulnerable communities and the livelihood of citizens in various parts of the country, the Constituency Development Fund, despite being increased to 28.3 million kwacha, challenges associated with releasing the funds and implementation of projects under CDF have emerged. Stakeholders argue that the process of benefiting from the funds is based on political lines, but the ruling United Party for National Development UPND member Ubene MUMBWA says there is a need to create a desk for the Auditor General Office which focuses on the utilization of the Constituency Development Fund in various parts of the country to increase the effectiveness of the program.
The money went missing, but now we want the Office of the Auditor General to have a desk specifically for CDF. How can that be? The Auditor General, we're not saying that the Auditor General must sit in the CDF committee, but we are saying the Auditor General at district levels must have a desk for CDF, meaning we want to see projects for CDF being cleared on time.
Mr. MUMBWA says CDF is being underutilized in most parts of the country due to lack of a proper monitoring system. The UPND member also believes there is a need to refocus the approach to the Constituency Development Fund CDF implementation, citing that most local authorities are reluctant to champion the good cause of the program as they do not report to anyone for implementation. He says introducing an Auditor General desk on CDF will also compel local authorities countrywide to provide reports quarterly, which will remove them from the comfort zones.
So we're proposing, and this we will like the President to ensure that he looks at our proposal. The Auditor General's office must have a desk in charge of CDF. We're talking about 28.3 million kwacha at constituency level. And a lot of people may use it well, others also may misuse it. Imagine if they know that at the end of 3 months they need to give a report to the Auditor General, then they will use the money properly.
Now Sonzulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
We'll take a break. Join us for international sports news after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. And now in international news, Marwa Omar was one of hundreds who lined up at dawn to try and get passports in Port Sudan. 15 hours later, she still had nothing to show for it. 1 million people have crossed Sudan's borders since April, fleeing the devastating war between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, according to the United Nations. That figure would probably be higher were it not for the fact that many like Omar needed passports renewed or issued from offices that shuttered their doors at the news of the first gunshots on April 15. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
A massive queue at a cramped office in the eastern city of Port Sudan. These Sudanese are here to apply for passports. Since authorities inaugurated a new office late August, hundreds of people have lined up all day, every day, desperate to obtain paperwork that will allow them to leave Sudan's deadly war behind. If you have an appointment today, you won't be able to enter. Other people will enter before you, even if you've been waiting before they came, just because they have connections. It shouldn't be this way. Not everyone has connections. 1 million people have crossed Sudan's borders since April, fleeing the devastating war between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. Rapid Support Forces, according to the United Nations. No one wants to leave their country, but the war conditions forced us to leave. I'm from Khartoum and I had to flee. Anywhere but Sudan. This is no longer a country. It did not provide us with any of our rights. No food, no medicine, no education, nothing. More than 2.8 million people have fled the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, where the pre-war population was around 5 million. Some left immediately, but others spent months sheltering in their homes, rationing water and electricity, while praying that the rockets were farther away than they sounded.
Well, I mean, people are extremely sad, but they're also very angry that the authorities aren't coming together as fast as they should to help these people. I mean, look, Libyans aren't capable in terms of the technical abilities to handle the recovery operation, but also the management. They don't have the management expertise. So, you know, this is a catastrophe in epic proportions. The Libyans can't handle the management of it. And people are trying to pick up the pieces. I spoke to a member of the ambulance and emergency services, and he says that just from the sea, in the last 2 days, they've recovered 400 bodies. I spoke to a diver squad, Ali Boufaris from Misrata. He's a diver. He just showed up to help. And he said, you know, they're seeing cars that were swept away into the sea filled with families. So, I mean, this is a really tough situation. People are angry and they want authorities to do a better job.
For the time being, we have managed to reach out 10,000 affected people across 5 locations. We started with the IDPs in Benghazi, and then we moved to the IDPs or the most affected population in Derna, and then Taknis, Charuba, and finally Susa. And as we speak, we have distribution ongoing in Susa. Plus also we are targeting, as we speak, 5 other locations that has been heavily impacted by the Hurricane Daniel. We lead on that, and we are coordinating all of us together to ensure that the people will have a drinking water, potable drinking water. But yes, our sister agency UNICEF is in charge of this, and they are doing a great job at it. For us as WFP, we have always dealt with the authorities in a very clear way. We work with everyone. Our aim is to deliver food to as many people and assistance as possible. And the authorities always support us, especially now in terms of reaching the most difficult areas. The authorities have been very helpful in opening the road so we can reach the most actually inaccessible villages and areas.
In our sports news tonight, Zambia's envoys in the CAF Confederations Cup, MUZA Football Club, lost by 2-1 against DIABLES NOIRS of Congo-Brazzaville in a game played at Heroes Stadium Sunday afternoon. The visitors scored 14 minutes into the game through Albert Fataki, and the game headed into halftime with a 1-0 scoreline. In the 78th minute, DIABLES NOIRS doubled the lead through Alves Ngakoso Oko, but MUZA pulled one back in the 88th minute through a penalty converted by Andrew Perry. Played on a sunny Sunday afternoon, the game saw a water break in the 70th minute to give the two teams relief. MUZA FC faces an uphill battle to qualify to the second round as the two teams face off on October 1st, 2023 in the second leg of the first round in Congo. To end Camnet television news, the top stories once again. Former President Edgar Lungu drags the state to court. Police arrest 106 people in connection with a riot and death of 2 businessmen in MUMBWA district. NAQEZ proposes a 3,000 KWACHA salary increment for teachers in the 2024 national budget. In international news, landmines pose new risk to survivors in Libya. And in sports news, FC MUZA loses to DIABLES NOIRS in the CAF Confederations Cup. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of 1 Samuel 12, verse 24 to 25. But be sure to fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things he has done for you. Yet, if you persist in doing evil, both you and your king will be swept away. Thank you for watching Camnet Television News. I'm Jeffrey Ziambo. Good night.